It came to light for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube.
I'm not the type of dude that you can come up on like.
Bro, listen. We out here
what kind of content?
You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's what I say. You don't do what I say. That's what I say. Bro. That's what I say. No.
For years, Gene Deal remained a figure known mostly behind the scenes Diddy's former personal security guard. A man who once stood close enough to witness the inner workings of a powerful empire few outsiders ever truly saw. But now, Gene Deal has found himself at the center of a growing storm. After choosing to speak openly and without hesitation about his experiences, he has come under intense backlash from Diddy's most devoted supporters. What began as online criticism has rapidly escalated into something far more serious, creating an atmosphere thick with tension, fear, and unanswered questions. This time, however, Gene is not standing alone. Comedian and cultural commentator Katt Williams has stepped forward, publicly backing Gene and
what did you do to him first inside the courtroom?
Lady.
What did you do to Mr. Gene Deal inside the courtroom right before my eyes? And why did I have to get in your face like this and tell you to step back from him? Why did I have to stand in front of Mr. Deal behind me and tell you to back up off of him?
Because it was two men handling business.
And then what happened? But what happened?
That's for me to know.
But what did you do? So why are you not telling the truth? My name is Candor. I'm transparent. I'm true.
You right here.
C-A-N-D-O-R.
With you, sweetheart. I can't.
But you didn't have the same energy with him when he came outside either.
When he came outside, he left.
Man, get out of here.
He left. He left, yo.
What do you look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep.
refusing to stay silent. Katt's support has added gasoline to an already raging fire, especially given his own history of clashing with powerful figures in the entertainment industry. It is hardly the first time rumors have surfaced suggesting that Diddy allegedly attempted to pressure or undermine individuals who refused to fall in line. But with both Gene Deal and Katt Williams now speaking openly, the focus has once again shifted squarely onto Diddy and the growing whispers of a calculated effort to silence dissent. Behind the scenes, the situation appears far more disturbing than many initially realized. Gene Deal, who once
Dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. Because I was having meetings with serious dudes in the street. And he refused to sit down. So what did he do? He tell his security team. He didn't tell the NYPD officers. He didn't tell the Department of Correction officers. He didn't tell none of the parole officers or anybody he had working for him that was officers. He told street dudes who had did dirt in the street. When y'all see Gene, y'all do him dirty. Y'all beat him up. He ain't tell him to beat me up. What I look like getting beat up? What a grown man look like? Somebody smacking him around, hitting him and all this shit like that. I ain't taking no ass whooping. I ain't took an ass whooping since the doctor spanked me on my fucking ass. I ain't took an ass whooping since my mom and my daddy. When they stopped taking it, I guess I'm got amnesia. I don't know what an ass whooping look like or feel.
Worked closely with Diddy for over a decade, has made a series of shocking allegations. He claims that Diddy ordered his team to go after an individual named Gondal, an accusation that Gene has now publicly backed. In a recent video, Gene revealed that he has been living in a constant state of alert, taking extra precautions, avoiding certain locations, and moving carefully through his daily life because he genuinely fears for his safety. According to Gene, this fear is not paranoia. He believes he is being monitored, singled out, and used as an example to discourage others from speaking out. As these claims spread, talk behind closed doors has intensified. Multiple insiders have suggested
I got a booking number, then you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang. protect your neck. And that's all I'm gonna say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, you know, who worked up the ladder to become who they are. Yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you...
that Diddy has been exerting heavy pressure to intimidate or silence anyone willing to challenge his narrative, the implication is deeply unsettling. Gene believes that what is happening to him is part of a broader strategy, a chilling message meant to re-establish control and remind others of the consequences of defiance. In his view, this is not about one man speaking out. It is about power, fear, and the lengths to which influential figures may go to protect their image. Yet despite the mounting pressure, Gene Deal shows no signs of retreat. In interview after interview, he continues to speak with unwavering resolve. Rather than backing down, he appears more determined than ever to tell his truth. That refusal to be silenced has earned him widespread respect and support from those who see his stance as both courageous and dangerous.
You cool, man? How you doing?
I'm cooler than a fan. They took my children from me.
Yeah, I mean,
how terrible is that?
I did want to ask. The cops, allegedly found some guns and.
Yeah, they always find guns. I never leave without a girlfriend. I'm on the middle of an interview, sir.
Sorry about. They found guns and drugs. Now,
drugs?
That's what it was reported.
Sir, you can look at my paperwork. There was no drugs. Weed is not a drug.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's safe for kids to be around guns and stuff like that? I mean, I'm just curious.
How do you keep this kid safe without guns? They were in a lockbox that the police broke.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go because you have a license for it.
No,
right?
This is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office, not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be the most terrible black dude.
Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on.
Regardless of how intense the pressure becomes or how far Diddy's reach may extend, Gene has made one thing unmistakably clear. He will not surrender ownership of his truth. According to Gene, this storm did not arrive overnight. He says he sensed it building long before it finally broke. For years, he understood that the day would come when Diddy's tolerance would wear thin, and the push to keep quiet would grow far more aggressive. Warnings, Gene claims, had already reached him through insiders, urging him to stop revealing uncomfortable truths and to leave certain matters down.
If y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we be like, all right.
Okay, so when was this? Because was Gene doing interviews at this point?
Yeah, we talking like 2008, 2009. Gene was spreading the word. You know, Gene was always bad mouthing.
Wait, hold on. Vlad TV started in 2008, 2009. YouTube was really early.
No, he wasn't doing YouTube and stuff. He was going around talking a lot. And we all from Harlem. So he was just talking a lot of shit. And it's a small, Harlem is small.
So what was Gene Deal saying during that time? What did you hear?
He basically was talking about Puff and woman that was going on with him and Kim. Puff being gay, you know, with him and Usher, shit like that. He was talking the same shit that he's talking now on a major scale, but he was spreading it around Harlem. Okay. So it was basically a thing where, yo, if y'all see that, man, I'm telling y'all better hear he got hands put on him, this, that, and that.
These were not gentle suggestions. Diddy's inner circle, Gene alleges, made it clear just how far they were prepared to go to protect their image. In Hollywood's high-stakes power game, influential figures rarely accept threats to their reputation lightly. History has repeatedly shown that speaking out often comes at a steep cost. Katt Williams himself has experienced this reality firsthand. His outspoken nature and refusal to conform.
Dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. So listen, let me just tell you something, right? Because this is an interesting point that Lovely T actually point out. All the people with money, power, influences, Diddy's equal. They refuse to come and support this man because they know something was wrong. But there are a million broke, dusty, desperate men out here trying to bully. It was a travesty. It was an all-out circus. Everybody, including myself, are running to safety.
I've got a question for you, Tisa Tales, and everyone's going to want to know this. You're in a car right now. You had to leave the courthouse. Why?
I had to leave the courthouse because Diddy's supporters were out of control. The first time I ran and did my live, of course, I had 2 armed security guys. Everyone told me, the people in the courthouse is like, make sure you have security. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It wasn't just me, but I'll tell you what I experienced. Diddy's supporters surrounding me, threatening me, saying that they were going to hurt me. It was a serious situation. It got so bad and there was so much chaos and violence that they actually had to lock the courtroom down and force the Diddy supporters across the street. It was something myself, the news media, mainstream media, new media have never seen in their lives. The level, and again, the jurors, I hope to God they know how to sleep at night. Because again, I'm sure they did their duty. But when all that chaos was happening, as I was being threatened and ushered out by armed security people, I thought, this is what the jury did. They sent a signal that it is okay to use violence. It's okay to drug people up. It's okay to live a life of debauchery. It's okay to do whatever you want. Because guess what? If you work hard enough and you have enough money and enough delusional fans and you have ingrained yourself in culture enough that you can do whatever you want. And 12 of your peers will look the other way. Again, this jury was shocking.
Tisa Tells, when you say that Sean Combs supporters threatened you, what were they saying?
They were saying, you effing B, we're going to kill you, you effing B. Apparently I work for the feds. You're a plant. You made this all up because of you. Again,
reportedly led to serious personal and professional consequences over the years. Too many. Katt's story serves as a chilling reminder that in the entertainment industry, telling the truth can be a dangerous move, especially when it challenges powerful interests. Further complicating the narrative are claims from Bonds, who disclosed that Diddy's alleged targeting of Gene Deal may date back as early as 2008, long before any federal scrutiny entered the picture. By that time, Gene had already begun speaking openly about what he claimed to witness behind closed doors, patterns of behavior, systems of control, and secrets Diddy allegedly worked tirelessly to conceal. Gene believes that his knowledge made him a liability. In his words, he knew too much. And
Fox was injured during an altercation at a Beverly Hills restaurant. Fox is speaking out about the incident, which is being investigated by police. It comes just days after the Oscar winner revealed for the first time that a brain bleed caused him to suffer a stroke last year. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff.
Tonight, actor Jamie Foxx is recovering after an altercation at his birthday dinner in Beverly Hills left him needing stitches. Local police received a call about an incident at the high-end Mr. Chow restaurant near Rodeo Drive just after 10 p.m. Friday night. A representative for the actor saying someone from another table threw a glass that hit Foxx in the face. It's unclear whether Foxx was involved in the fight or merely a bystander. No arrests were made, but the investigation remains ongoing. It has already already been an eventful month for the Oscar winner. In his recently released Netflix stand-up special, Fox opened up about the mysterious health crisis that put him in the hospital for several weeks last year.
I was fighting for my life, but I'm here in front of you.
Fox telling the audience a doctor gave his family a grim diagnosis.
He told my sister some horrible news about her big brother. He said he's having a brain bleed. Has led to a stroke.
But now, the actor is proud he beat the odds.
I said I couldn't walk, but look at me now.
And Lindsay, Fox appears to be keeping this positive attitude through this latest incident, writing on social media this morning, "The devil is busy, but I'm
Taking away was the only way to preserve his integrity and safety. Since then, Gene has refused to fade into silence. Despite the risks, he has continued to speak out, revealing what he knows regardless of the consequences. And he is not the only one feeling the backlash. It was recently revealed that another content creator, who had been covering Diddy, was confronted directly outside a courthouse by individuals described as Diddy supporters. According to reports, they warned her that she would be next. The confrontation allegedly took place in plain sight of law enforcement, yet no one intervened. For many observers, that moment sent a chilling signal about the boldness.
Now on Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, he's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the
and reach of the intimidation being alleged. Gene's situation is part of what some believe is a broader pattern. Last year, actor Jamie Foxx reportedly experienced a serious health scare that some have quietly connected to Diddy claims that have raised eyebrows across the industry. After Jamie spoke out, the situation appeared to grow even more volatile. While no concrete proof has been publicly established, the timing and surrounding circumstances have fueled speculation. In Jamie,
along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide, and cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. And these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. It's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle, no license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. So, I'm well versed in this world. But, I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail, and some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs over the years has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So,
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. Have I gone to the wrong place? I looked at the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying...
Jimmy's case, the tension allegedly escalated into a physical confrontation, leaving him needing stitches after a run-in with someone said to be connected to Diddy's circle. That is, these incidents continue to surface. The list of so-called coincidences grows longer. For many, it is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the pattern. Those who question or challenge Diddy often seem to find themselves suddenly surrounded by chaos, health scares, confrontations, or threats that derail their lives. Whether coincidence or something more, the similarities are unsettling. One of the...
And God knows I could bodyguard myself with his blessings. I could bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, G ain't got to be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999. High-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Because niggas do that shit. They'll send somebody at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have niggas right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal.
Most explosive claims comes from Keith D., a former gang figure who once publicly linked Diddy to the death of Tupac Shakur. After making those accusations, Keith D. later found himself attacked in prison under circumstances many consider highly suspicious. His allegations were seismic, accusing Diddy of being tied to a multi-million-dollar payoff connected to Tupac's murder. Though unproven, the claims sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world and reignited decades-old questions about power, violence, and silence in the industry. Adding another layer to the controversy, a widely known celebrity security guard has shared that he experienced multiple sudden health scares after he began speaking out against Diddy. In an interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored, he claimed to have received direct threats and warned that people who challenge Diddy often find themselves dealing with bizarre, unexplained fallout. He even raised unsettling questions about whether Kim Porter's sudden and tragic death was truly accidental, suggesting there may be far more happening behind the scenes than the public has been led to believe. Despite the threats and relentless pressure, Gene Deal remains completely undeterred. In multiple interviews, he has made it clear that neither Diddy nor his supporters can scare him into silence. Driven by what he describes as a moral obligation to tell the truth, Gene continues forward with unwavering determination. He insists he has witnessed too much to turn back now, and as more people begin to pay attention, his resolve has only strengthened. Even recent confrontations outside the courthouse failed to shake him. Gene sees them for what he believes they are desperate attempts to intimidate, attempts he has no intention of allowing to work. According to reports, even before any trial officially got underway, Diddy was allegedly attempting to shut Gene down. While serving time in prison, Diddy is said to have had members of his inner circle approach Gene with offers of money in exchange for his silence. Gene claims he refused every time. Having spent over a decade working closely alongside Diddy, Gene believes he understands exactly what he is dealing with. Intimidation, he says, is not enough to make him fold. Rather than retreat, he has doubled down, choosing to speak louder and more openly than ever before. Fully committed to revealing the truth, Gene insists he will not allow fear or manipulation to dictate his voice. Reports continue to indicate that Diddy has been deliberately going after anyone who dares to speak against him, fostering an atmosphere built on fear and intimidation. That is why Gene began receiving warnings from those close to him. They understood the danger of challenging someone with Diddy's level of power and influence. Yet, despite the growing tension and repeated cautions, Gene remains unwavering. What was once an untouchable empire now appears to be under intense strain. The very voices Diddy allegedly tried to silence are speaking out louder than ever. What began as whispers and rumors are now being reinforced by first-hand accounts, turning speculation into serious allegations that demand attention. The pressure is mounting, the walls appear to be closing in, and the truth, piece by piece, is slowly coming into focus. This story is far from finished. If anything, it feels like it is only just beginning. As more voices come forward and more details emerge, the next chapter promises to be even more revealing than the last. Stay tuned because what happens next? If anything, it feels like it is only just beginning. As more voices come forward and more details emerge, the next chapter promises to be even more revealing than the last. Stay tuned because what happens next may change everything.